This video is going to demonstrate creating data bars as well as a watermark. So we'll start on page 242 of Excel tutorial 4. Again, still working in the Levitt Winery workbook file. So creating data bars on page 242 mentions that data bars are conditional formatting that actually adds little horizontal bars within the cell that contains a value or a number. The lengths of the data bars are based on the value of each cell. So it's like having a little mini bar chart within each cell. We're actually going to go to the bottom of this workbook or the overview worksheet, and we're going to apply data bars to the bottle prices that are listed at the very bottom. So we have first label and second label categories, which simply mean the quality of the wine. First label is the highest quality. Second label is an average quality wine. So these are just comparing the prices for each of the different wine categories. So we're going to apply data bars to show the relationship of prices to one another within these two columns of data. So we're going to go ahead and select C38 to D43. And the command for conditional formatting is on the Home tab. Click Conditional Formatting, Data Bars, and in the Gradient Fill section we're going to choose Blue Data Bar. So click that to apply. Now if you click off to the side to deselect, you can see that you have the length of the data bars dependent upon the highest value. So if you take a look at Pinot Noir, 27 for first label is the highest value, so that fills the entire cell, and all the rest of the data bars are the lengths of those data bars are dependent on the relationship of that value compared to the Pinot Noir. Now the problem with data bars just filling the entire cell is sometimes if you have a darker color, it's going to interfere with your ability to read the text that is actually in the cell. So what you can do is modify the data bar rule so that the data bar doesn't fill the entire cell. So that's what we're going to do. So go back and select the same range of cells. Go back to conditional formatting, and then we're going to go down to manage rules so we can make a change to the rule that we had set. So click the data bar rule. It confirms the range that we have selected, and we're going to edit that rule. What we're going to change is the maximum value determining exactly how long of a data bar the maximum value will be. So we're going to change the maximum here instead of automatic. We're going to switch to number and make that number 35. So what you have to think of this is that the entire value of the cell is like the equivalent to 100, and we want to leave the remaining 35 like percentage visible in the cell. So that's why we're using the number 35. Go ahead and click OK, and then click OK again to confirm the change in the rule. So now if you deselect, you'll see that the highest value, 27, is now visible. The maximum length of that bar is still showing about 35% left of that particular cell. And then all the other data bars will automatically adjust in relationship to that particular value. Okay, so the last thing we need to do is insert a watermark that's actually going to show in the background of the document. So on page 245, it explains that a watermark is a text or an image that appears in the background behind all the other worksheet content. And usually a watermark has a washed out appearance, so that even though it's a graphic that has maybe vibrant colors, when you apply the washout format, it's going to fade the colors out pretty significantly. So what we're going to do, typically a watermark is simply added to the header footer section so that it applies to all the pages of that particular worksheet. So if you go to Page Layout and click the launcher for Page Setup, that'll open the Page Setup dialog box. So we're going to jump over to the Header Footer tab, click Custom Header, and then in the center section, go ahead and click there, and we're going to insert the picture that we're going to use as our watermark. So over here on the right, there's an Insert Picture button. Click that, and then we're going to navigate to your flash drive to locate the picture that we want. So you're going to click Browse, and then navigate to your flash drive. So we're working on Excel 4 tutorial. There should be a picture file in there called Draft. So if you double click that, what you'll see is a code that represents that a picture has actually been inserted. Now, we do want the picture to have that washed out look, so we don't have a big, it's a big word that says draft in bold red, but that will interfere with the text of the worksheet. So what we want to do is format the picture so that it is washed out. So because a picture has been inserted here, you can come over here to the button on the far right that says Format Picture. Click that. You'll then click the Picture tab, and then because we want to change the way the picture looks, we're going to change the color to, it's probably set to automatic. You want to change that to Washout. Click OK. OK again. And then in the Page Setup dialog box, you can go straight to Print Preview to see how the worksheet looks. So we'll click that. Takes us into Preview, and here you can see there is the watermark. So the color is washed out and shows vaguely in the background of our worksheet information. Okay. So at this point we're finished with Excel Tutorial 4. I'm going to go back to the worksheet, and then you can go ahead and resave the worksheet.